Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. I think I can say that to everybody until the end of January. So if I haven't spoken to you yet, Happy New Year. Um, I'm currently in Lincoln, Illinois, enjoying a meal here at Wendy's, which I must point out, by the way, if I was in New York City, I would not be able to do this. Order a meal and sit down in the restaurant and eat. I don't want to say to hell with New York, but to hell with New York, bro. But I figured now's a good time to update. It's been a very, very rough week. I haven't made a dime this week. My work day starts on Sunday. Actually, now it's going to be Mondays. The company just switched that over recently. But I picked up a load in what was the name of that? Romeoville, or somewhere in the suburbs of Romeoville in Illinois. And I was supposed to be going to Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, bro. Like warm temperatures and my son's namesake, Phoenix, Arizona. And that day, I think I picked up the load Saturday, and it started snowing in Illinois. And I never made it out of Illinois because, here I am. Today is Thursday, and I'm still here in Illinois. So first thing, obviously, it's a real bad snowstorm. So I'm driving slow. I'm trying not to skid too much. Had some scary moments, but, I made it through. It just so happened that my dispatch team, they kept on, calling me. They kept calling me. I don't want to say harassing me, but they were putting a lot of emphasis on wanting me to stop because our company was switching platforms for our ELD, our electronic logs. And obviously, that is a big deal because if you're caught driving in violation or if without the proper logs, DOT probably will shut your ass down. Excuse me. So, I complied. I didn't want to stop on the side of the road, so I came into the nearest truck stop where I can get gas, and that happened to be the town of Lincoln, still here in Illinois. And I also had a couple of other apps to download that they wanted me to download and some tutorial videos. So at this point, it was probably say 9 p.m.-ish in the evening. So what the hell was that? It was about 9 p.m.-ish in the evening, and I figured, okay, I will watch these apps, I'll watch these videos, and take a nap, so I'll just be rejuvenated for the morning. And because Phoenix, Arizona was like a 25-hour ride, and, that's a long drive. And obviously, I don't think I can't. First of all, regulations won't allow you to do it. And just physically, I'm incapable of staying up for 25 hours without substances, which are totally illegal and dangerous, to stay awake for 25 hours to drive. So, went to sleep. Woke up about 2 a.m. because, and a note on that, lately my sleep schedule has been trucker's time, I guess, because I'm capable of sleeping for 4 hours and being rejuvenated and full out 8-hour shift. But yeah, so I woke up about 2 a.m. and I'm looking outside and I'm like, oh shit, hell no. It's mad icy, mad frosty and dark, very dangerous. And it just so happened that to get to this town of Illinois, I had to go down this huge valley. It was I-55. I think currently I'm off of exit 152 or something like that. 162, 152, somewhere around there. Could be wrong, could be 125. But anyway, huge valley coming down. And in the daytime, bro, my experience going through the hills of West Virginia and all that, the daytime is beautiful. At nighttime, very scary. Very fucking scary. And, excuse me for cursing. And I didn't want to take that chance. It was dark, very icy, I didn't want to be a casualty on the side of the road. like coming down that valley, I saw a lot of cars in the snow, thinking that they had it, they could handle it, and they were out off the side of the highway in a ditch somewhere. I wasn't trying to be that, so I decided to stay a little bit longer. I figured when the sun came up, temperatures would rise, which did not happen. So about like say 8 a.m., no 6 a.m. I turned the truck on, warming up, doing my PTI pre-trip inspections. I try to move, and I am stuck. My brakes froze. Now, this was the second time it happened to me. It happened when I was in Carlisle, PA, but it wasn't as bad as what just happened to me here. And I was warned to drain my air tanks at night. But I thought I was good because I drained my air tanks like right prior to picking up the load. And I also put rubbing alcohol in my glad hands, the lines that supply air to the trailer and my brakes. So I put out rubbing alcohol in that, but I still couldn't move. And I figured, okay, let me not stress it. Let me wait a little bit. Temperature should rise, which again did not happen. 9 o'clock's here, and I'm still stuck. I was advised to go under the truck with a hammer and, try to like knock the brakes free. And I attempted that, to be honest. I was a little timid, so I probably could have done a better job of doing that. But first time, they're telling me like, leave the trailer brake on, but then release the tractor brake, chuck the wheels so you don't get run over. So it's like, and hearing that, I'm like, okay. But I went on there. I didn't like get on the floor, but I reached around and tried to knock it. Like I said, very timidly, because I really didn't know what I was doing. Eventually, I called a Love's roadside assistance, and he came in with a blowtorch and a huge hammer. He like went under there, and he heated up the brakes and smack for a good 30 minutes, bro. And so eventually, I was able to roll a little bit, but just not enough. So like I'm really forcing it, like going forward, going backwards, trying to break them shits free. But instead of releasing my brakes, what I ended up doing, I broke my drive shaft. My fucking drive shaft popped off on the ground. I mean, I'm laughing at it now, but obviously a very serious situation. Excuse me. So, a drive shack on the floor. The roadside assistance guy is like, oh, that's about all I can do for you. You sign right here. And so I ended up signing away. I think the cost of that was about like, say, $230. Roadside assistance isn't cheap. So next, drive shaft. How do I fix that? Ended up calling a couple of shops. I think I spent the night there in the same spot. Lucky for me, bro. I was at a Pilot truck stop, because had I been on the side of the road, it could have been a lot worse. But I was in a safe position, truck stop. Ended up, spending the night there again, and the next day just so happened right next door to me, because I called about, say, 6 different, and my dispatch team too, called about like 6-7 different repair shops to try to help me. Nothing panned out. One guy said he was coming. I told him what my real issue was, because he thought it was just my brakes, but I showed him a picture of my drive shaft on the floor. This motherfucker never came, never showed up. So I called him like, hey, I just wondering about ETA. And he's like, oh no, I'm not coming. I can't handle that kind of work. I'm like, oh, thanks for telling me. But I went next door, and I'm like, hey, do you guys do repairs here? He's like, hey, you're in luck because we just started today. Yay. So I got my drive shaft repaired, put back on, and I think it was like 14 and change, 1,400 and change for that. And by now it is, what, by now, at that point, when I got my drive shaft back on, this is Monday now, and I started this load on Saturday. So my dispatch team is happy. The broker, I'm sure, is happy because, they have to get the load. The load is supposed to be in Phoenix, Arizona by 10 p.m. on Monday. So I'm so ecstatic, paid them, but I had no cash on me, so I'm trying to go to the ATM and, give them a little cash tip or whatever. And I parked the truck in front of the store. I come back out, bought a lottery ticket because my man Snoop told me the lottery was like 600 million. 600 million, bro? But anyway, come back outside and she's bleeding. Like, I see a huge puddle of oil underneath my differential box. So I bring it back right to the shop here, and they're shaking their head like, and I'm like, oh man. I thought my drive shaft being on the floor was bad. Like, I thought my life was over then. But the differential box, bro, that's very serious. So I was told to ask if it was just a seal, but apparently I cracked the whole housing. I don't know if that was in reinstallation of the drive shaft or when the drive shaft actually broke off of the hinges and the U-bolts. So today is now Thursday, and I'm still here. I was supposed to get the new differential box today, but it still has not arrived yet. And I started making arrangements to try to come home. But with my luck, I can't rent a car because I do not have a valid credit card. I don't have a credit card. I don't own a credit card. And since I don't live in state, you need a credit card, a major credit card to, rent a car, which I think is ridiculous. If I have enough money to put down for any kind of deposit that you need, like, geez, that's ridiculous. But that's the way things work. So started looking at flights, and Uber to Chicago from where I am is about $200, to go to the airport and get a flight. So I really started, and I'm paying about, say, like $100 a night to stay in this hotel currently. And I'm like, I started cutting my losses. Like, all right, listen, I'll just stay here and keep my fingers crossed with the truck. As soon as I made that decision, I got a phone call from the shop. They said, hey, listen, excuse me, your part should be here tomorrow. They apologized, and I'm like, hey, listen, by the way, do you guys work Saturdays? He said, yeah, bro, we'll come in on Saturday if we have to. We'll get you out of here. We've been here for a long time. Mind you, I was telling them about my month of December. Like, I didn't come home for Christmas. I didn't come home from New Year's. So, like, I've been on the road. Christmas, I was in Charlotte. New Year's, I was in Kentucky and Illinois, back and forth. So it's been kind of rough. I've been on the road for a while. I still even haven't given my kids their Christmas gifts yet. They're just sitting there waiting. So I was really trying to go home, and I was supposed to go home like on the 7th, which is tomorrow. But as you see, things aren't panning out. I spent this whole week here without working, so 2 weeks time, no paycheck for me. And the part alone that I'm ordering here is a little over $4,500. That's not even with labor cost. So, I spoke to my pops, and yeah, I don't think I'll be going home for at least another 2-3 weeks until I pass that period of that no paycheck thing, because that's gonna hurt. Especially being home, when you're home, you spend money. I spend money. So, yeah, that's the latest for the new year. But I'm not discouraged, I was at first, but I'm not discouraged anymore. I understand things happen, things break down, but they can usually be fixed. And the most important thing that I needed to remember is, don't look at the price, because whatever I'm spending to fix my truck will be made back easily, 3 or 4 times over. So I'm very eager to get back on the road. So the call earlier this evening about tomorrow, I'm very optimistic about that. Other than that, I've been very, very bored. Like, trying to prevent myself from going to Walmart just to spend money. Because I got nothing to do. Like, I'm tired of PlayStation. I mean, PlayStation is cool and all, but without, like, you know, the friends that you used to play with and shit, you know, it gets kind of boring after a while. I did watch The Matrix. I have to rewatch it because I fell asleep on the end. But it seems cool enough. Somebody told me it was whack, but they're not here to understand The Matrix. So, yep, that's about it. So, I guess hopefully next time you guys hear from me, it'll be better news. I'll be somewhere warm, enjoying the sun like Cali, possibly, which I've never been to. I've never been to California. Really looking forward to that. That was going to be my next stop after Phoenix, too. Like, look at that. Probably would have stopped at Area 51, you know, go to Nevada. But, yep, that's what it is for now. And I will talk to you guys later.